Last week we introduced the concept of worldview and talked about what a worldview is, why worldviews are important to think about, and then also looked at some basic beliefs related to the Christian worldview and the overall grand narrative of Christianity. For this week, one of the things that I want you to do is spend some time thinking about a key component of that Christian worldview, the resurrection. And so the first video for this week is a lecture from N.T. Wright, a New Testament scholar and former bishop in the Church of England. Now, I don't necessarily agree with Dr. Wright on everything he believes or necessarily everything he presents in this lecture. He does lay out in a very systematic and effective presentation why we can have trustworthy or have certainty in the resurrection of Jesus, which relates to some of the things that we'll be looking at both this week and next week, weeks 3 and week 4. In week 3, we'll begin exploring other worldviews. Now, there are a lot of worldviews out there, but I've chosen two that I think are important in contemporary culture for Christians to be aware of. The first is Islam. Islam, of course, is the second largest religion, as we noted in week 2, and is also the fastest growing religion, in most cases as presented in a variety of statistics. And so it's becoming a very widespread religion that people in the West are becoming more and more in contact with, often very negatively because of terrorism and the things that very radical Muslims do. But it's important for us to have an understanding of Islam as Christians. Our immediate response might be, wait, this is a Bible course. Why are we just looking at the Bible? Well, I think one important concept for us to recognize is the importance of knowing our neighbors. And more often, we're going to be coming in contact with people who are Islamic in religion. And so having a basic understanding of what Islam is all about, as well as maybe working against some stereotypes that are often present about Muslims, will help us not only appreciate them and their humanity, but then also find some places where we might communicate and dialogue with them as Christians, with the goal of sharing the gospel. And so this week, not only do we look at some ideas about the certainty of the resurrection, but also begin to explore other worldviews. Don't forget, continue to submit those notes and also post on the discussion board. There's also another opportunity for you to submit a critical engagement essay. Make sure all of that is done by the end of the week, and feel free to get in contact with me if you have any questions.